This one's curated specifically for you, and we're focusing entirely on English vocabulary today.
Specifically, words drawn from conversations we've analyzed about things like resolutions, holidays, even travel.
Exactly. And our mission is pretty hyper-focused this time. We want total clarity, not just on meaning, but really nailing the correct spelling for absolute confidence.
That precision really is key, isn't it? We notice that some of the words that pop up most often, in chats about goals or buying things or hotels, they're often the ones with the trickiest spellings.
Right, those little letter combinations that trip people up.
Yeah. So we're aiming to give you a bit of a shortcut to precision. For the challenging words, the ones we know cause trouble, we'll repeat them, sure, but we'll also really highlight why they're tricky and spell them out, letter by letter.
Making sure they stick this time.
Exactly.
So the source material we synthesized covers quite a range. New Year's traditions, decorating for holidays, those very specific personal care routines.
Like going to the nail salon.
Yeah, and even the functional language you absolutely need for things like hotel booking.
High-stakes stuff sometimes.
It really is. And the thread tying it all together, it's this idea that, speaking fluently is one thing, but achieving written mastery, especially when you're maybe under pressure.
Like writing an important email or filling out a form.
Precisely. That requires spelling precision. So let's start with the language around commitment and, daily life. Okay, so the concept just dominating the start of the year in our sources, the New Year's resolution.
Yes, the classic.
And it's more than just like a vague hope, isn't it? It's framed as a real commitment, a promise you make to yourself for a fresh start.
Think about the usual suspects. Going to the gym every day, learning a new language.
Those are big goals.
Right. And that commitment really stems from the key verb here, to resolve.
Okay, let's break that down. To resolve.
When you resolve to do something, you're making a conscious decision, a strong one. It implies, a sense of finality, like you've decided and you don't intend to change your mind.
It's like an internal promise. You're not planning on backing out.
Exactly. An internal contract. That's a good way to put it.
And that concept, that final decision, it's so important. And the noun form, resolution, it's critical for any kind of formal communication, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. So let's focus on the spelling of the noun, resolution.
Okay.
Now, the challenge here, I think, for many learners, it comes from that sort of S sound inside the word.
Right. Does it sound like a Z? Or is it like solution?
People sometimes get confused there,
Yeah.
but the spelling is actually quite standard. It's Resoluttion.
Resoluttion.
That middle part, SOLU, that's kind of the anchor. If you get that, the rest follows. Let's spell it again.
Resolution.
Resolution. Got it.
And it's really vital, as you hinted, not to mix up the verb to resolve, meaning to decide, with the verb to solve, which means to find an answer to a problem.
Okay, that's a key distinction.
Yeah. They sound related, and they are, but their use is different. You resolve to go to the gym.
Okay, the decision. But you solve the problem of, maybe, how to fit the gym into your busy schedule.
Got it. Resolve the commitment. Solve the logistics.
You've got it. And once that resolution is made, the conversations we saw immediately shifted to follow through, and they use this great related phrase, to stick to it.
Oh yeah, stick to it. Like glue.
Exactly. That's the image. It means you continue doing something, even if it's hard, you don't quit, like adhesive holding firm.
We use that all the time for encouragement, don't we? Like telling English learners, you just have to stick to it.
Consistent practice is key.
And in the source material, there was dialogue about someone needing to stick to their fitness goals.
Yeah.
Because otherwise...
that gym membership ends up gathering dust by February.
Exactly. We've all been there. Okay, so moving beyond just personal promises, the source material highlighted this interesting societal contradiction.
Oh, what was that?
Well, people resolved to spend more time with family, right? That was apparently a top resolution.
Makes sense.
But then the conversations showed we live in this culture where everyone is almost constantly on the go.
On the go. Yes, that phrase perfectly captures it. Just continuous motion, always busy.
The sources gave really vivid examples. People constantly rushing between work, the grocery store, school pickups.
Right. And the one that really stood out was eating on the go.
Yes. Eating while driving or walking down the street, basically never sitting down for a proper meal.
The sources flagged that as a particularly American habit, didn't they, compared to maybe Europe or Asia, where meals are more a stationary event.
Yeah, they did. Why do you think that is? Why are we always on the go, especially with food?
Well, it seems tied into the pace of economic life, maybe, the priority on efficiency, saving time.
Like squeezing every minute out of the day?
Yeah, and maybe our infrastructure supports it too, drive-throughs everywhere, longer commutes.
True. And maybe even work culture, where taking a long lunch break is sometimes frowned upon.
Could be. The pressure to be always on definitely fuels that on-the-go lifestyle.
And this constant motion, it's directly linked to the economy, isn't it?
Yeah.
People are on the go because they're busy providing for their families, trying to get the goods and services they need.
Exactly. And here's where it gets really interesting, like you said. That phrase, goods and services, it's fundamental. It's the bedrock of economic sociology.
Okay, let's define those clearly. Goods.
Goods are the tangible things. The physical stuff you can touch, buy, store, food, clothes, cars, TVs, stuff.
Right, the things. And services.
Services are the non-physical things, actions or labor that other people perform for you.
Okay, give us some examples from the sources, beyond just like the doctor or dentist.
Well, think about the modern economy. Ride sharing, that's a service. Getting IT support, consulting, house cleaning. Tutoring, exactly. You're paying for someone's time, their skill, their performance, not a physical object.
And economists look at the balance between those two.
Right.
Goods versus services.
Constantly. When they measure GDP, the gross domestic product, they're analyzing the output of goods compared to the provision of services. And many developed economies have seen a big shift towards being service-based.
Okay. So for precision, especially if you're writing about business or economics, we need to nail the spelling of services. It's almost always used in the plural.
Right. Let's focus on that. S-E-R-V-I-C-E-S.
S-E-R-V-I-C-E-S.
Pay attention to that middle part and the end. That ICE structure sometimes causes a hesitation.
I-C-E, like ice.
Exactly. If you remember the singular service ends in ICE, then just adding the plural S is easy. S-E-R-V-I-C-E-S.
S-E-R-V-I-C-E-S, services. Got it. Hashtag tag 1.3, neglect and novelty.
Okay, so going back to those resolutions that don't quite stick.
The ones that fail by February.
Yeah, the conversations brought up this fantastic visual phrase that contrasts neglect with novelty. On one side, you have that image of the forgotten gym bag, or maybe an old laptop, just gathering dust.
Oh, gathering dust. That's such a great visual.
Isn't it? It perfectly captures something being unused, forgotten. It collects dust because nobody's touching it. It embodies that failed resolution just sitting there.
That expensive exercise bike becoming a clothes rack.
Yeah.
Gathering dust.
Exactly that. So the action word here, especially if you're describing something happening over time, is gathering. Let's spell that.
Okay.
G-A-T-H-E-R-I-G.
G-A-T-H-E-R-I-G.
Yeah.
Pretty phonetic, that one.
It is, but that ing ending is key for showing continuous action. G-A-T-H-E-R-I-G.
And the total opposite of something gathering dust. Something brand new.
Ah, yes. Brand new. It just means completely fresh, totally new, never used before.
It's pure marketing language, isn't it? A brand new car, brand new phone.
Absolutely. It taps into that desire for novelty, for the latest thing. And the dialogue actually mentioned someone buying brand new running shoes for their resolution.
Which were now gathering dust.
Precisely. It perfectly showed that cycle. Setting a goal, consuming something brand new for it, and then maybe not sticking to it.
So we start the year with a resolution. We're constantly on the go dealing with goods and services. And sometimes we end up with something gathering dust while wanting something brand new.
That sums up a lot of modern life, doesn't it?
It really does. Which actually brings us quite neatly to the vocabulary around, well, celebratory consumption and traditions. Okay, let's shift gears.
Yeah.
Let's dive into the specific words that came up in conversations about winter holidays, specifically focusing on the Christmas tree.
Right, the Christmas tree. Usually the absolute centerpiece of the decorations, isn't it?
Typically, yeah. It's often a fir or a pine tree, either a real one that's been cut down or, an artificial plastic one.
Brought inside the house, decorated. It's where the presents go.
And the sources mentioned the specific type of real tree often used, the pine tree.
Yes, the pine tree. It's a type of conifer. And instead of big flat leaves, it has these long, very thin green things called needles.
Needles, okay.
Pine trees are also known for that really distinct smell. You know the one?
Oh, yeah. Very strong. Christmassy.
Exactly. It's so strongly associated with Christmas and, oddly enough, cleanliness, that the scent is copied all the time in household cleaners and air fresheners. That was a fun cultural detail from the sources.
It is funny, isn't it? Pine sol. Okay, let's make sure we spell the tree type and its foliage correctly. First, the tree. Pine.
Simple but essential. P-I-N-E.
P-I-N-E.
Peak pine.
And the pointy green bits. Needles.
Needles.
Needles. Note that double E in the middle. Needles.
Good catch. Needles.
Beyond the tree itself, the sources also touched on that perennial debate. Real tree versus fake tree.
Ah, yes, the great debate. It's fascinating because the language used really highlights different priorities.
Yeah.
Well, choosing a real tree brings up words about maintenance, right? Watering it, dealing with falling needles, the fact that it's temporary.
Right. And the mess.
Whereas the artificial tree conversation uses words like cost the higher upfront price, but also convenience, no maintenance, and reusability.
And increasingly, sustainability comes into it too. Which one is actually better for the environment?
Exactly. So the vocabulary reflects those trade-offs.
Oh.
Hashtag 2.2, decorations, and placement.
Okay, so once you got your tree, real or fake, the next step involves the action. To decorate.
To decorate. Making something look special, prettier, more festive. You decorate the tree, but you also decorate a cake or a room for a party.
It's a general verb. And the specific things we use to decorate the Christmas tree are called ornaments.
Ornaments. Now, broadly, an ornament is just any decorative thing, but Christmas ornaments, they're often more than that, aren't they? They're like little memory capsules.
That's a perfect way to put it. The source dialogue mentions specific shapes. The classic round balls, Santas, maybe little animals, angels.
Right, but they often represent family history, don't they? Marking a special year, a trip, a baby's first Christmas.
Totally. They carry meaning. So let's get the spelling right for this key decoration. Ornament.
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 Be mindful of that NAME sequence in the middle. It sounds a bit soft when you say it. Ornament, but all those letters are there. Ornament.
Ornament. Okay. Now, a very practical issue that came up when discussing bringing those real trees home. The question, will it fit?
Ah, the age-old question. So simple, but with potentially huge consequences.
Right, because those pine trees can be deceptively tall.
Exactly. And if it doesn't fit under your ceiling, you're stuck. You might have to saw the top off or have it scraping the ceiling.
Which means you can't put the star or the angel on top properly. Disaster.
Total Christmas crisis. And of course, that phrase, will it fit, applies to buying anything big, doesn't it? A new sofa, a giant TV.
True. Very useful question. Hashtag tag 2.3 hanging the stockings.
All right, another absolutely central holiday tradition involves stockings.
Right. And importantly, in this context, we're not talking about regular socks or hosiery you wear.
No, definitely not. Christmas stockings are usually very large, often decorative, sometimes personalized socks that get hung up.
And the idea is they get filled with candy, small toys, little gifts.
Yeah.
Usually opened on Christmas morning.
Exactly. And where do they typically get hung? Usually near the chimney.
Okay, the chimney. Let's define that.
The chimney is that big vertical structure, usually brick or stone, that's designed to carry the smoke from the fireplace.
Where you burn the wood.
Right. Carries the smoke and gases up and out of the house.
And usually above the fireplace opening, there's a shelf, right? The mantle.
Yes, the mantelpiece. And that's traditionally where the stockings are hung or draped.
And the chimney itself is famous in the Christmas story because...
That's supposedly how Santa Claus gets into the house. Down the chimney.
Yeah.
To deliver the goods and services.
Huh. Bringing it full circle. Okay, the spelling of chimney is notoriously tricky.
It really is. It's got an unusual vowel thing going on, and the ending sound can throw people off.
Let's spell it out carefully. C-H-I-M-N-E-Y.
C-H-I-M-N-E-Y. See that E-Y at the end? Not what you might expect.
No, it looks like it should be any or something. Let's do it again slowly, focusing on that end bit. C-H-I-M-N-E-Y.
C-H-I-M-N-E-Y. Chimney. Mastering that one is key for accurately describing a very iconic piece of holiday, architecture.
And it connects to that whole idea of the fireplace, the hearth, being the warm center of the home in winter.
Exactly. Ancient vocabulary, modern spelling challenge.
Okay, let's pivot now. From festive decorations to the very precise vocabulary needed in the world of personal care. Specifically, the nail salon.
Ah, the nail salon. A place dedicated to treating hands and feet.
And this is a great example where knowing a little bit of Latin can really help clarify the vocabulary.
Absolutely. We need to distinguish the two main services offered. First, the manicure.
Manicure, that's for the hands, right?
Correct. It comes from the Latin word manus, meaning hand. So a manicure involves cutting, shaping, painting, drying the fingernails. Basically care for the hands.
Okay. Manus, hand equals manicure.
And the service for the feet.
That's the pedicure. And here the root is ped, P-E-D, which means foot in Latin.
Ah, like pedal on a bike or pedestrian.
Exactly. So pedicure is the service for the feet, toenails, soaking, maybe a massage. These are specialized terms, so getting the spelling right is important, especially if you're, say, booking an appointment online or writing about it. Let's spell the hand service first. Manicure.
Manicure.
Manicure. Manicure.
Notice that ending. Cure. It's the same for both.
Right. That helps. So for the feet, pedicure.
Pedicure.
Pedicure. Pedicure. You just swap the MAN for PED.
Precisely. Defines where the service happens.
You know, it's interesting. The nail salon environment itself, it's kind of a forced pause in that frantic on-the-go lifestyle we talked about.
That's true. You literally have to sit still while the polish dries. Can't check your phone easily.
Maybe that's part of the appeal.
Yeah.
Hashtag take 3.2, the manicurist's tools and actions.
So the person providing the service, the manicure or pedicure, is called the manicurist.
Manicurist, okay.
They perform the service and they apply the special paint, which is called nail polish.
Nail polish.
Mm-hmm.
A specific kind of lacquer or paint for nails. Makes them shiny.
Right. And the manicurist usually applies several coats of this polish.
Coats. Now, that word's important beyond just nails, isn't it? A coat means a layer.
Exactly. The sources used a good analogy. Painting a wall. You need multiple coats for a good, solid color.
A base coat, maybe 2 coats of the color, then a top coat.
Same idea for nails. You layer it for effect, for shine, for durability. The concept of coats means layers.
Okay. And another key action the manicurist performs is shaping the nail. Smoothing the edges. That's called to-file.
Yes, to-file. And they use a tool called a nail file, usually a little stick, maybe cardboard or metal, with a rough, abrasive surface.
And they use it to gently shave off tiny bits of the nail to get the right shape. It's not clipping, it's filing.
Correct. A more delicate shaving process. Now, let's make sure we spell the person's job title correctly. Manicurist.
Derived straight from manicure.
Manicurist.
Manicurist.
The common slip-up here is the ending. Remember, use ist usually indicates the person who does the action, like artist, scientist, manicurist.
Got it. Manicurist, manicurist.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's where we hit probably the most specialized and often misspelled word in this whole beauty section. It's an anatomical term that came up in the dialogue.
The cuticle.
Ah, yes. The cuticle. This is definitely a high priority word if you want precision in this area.
So what exactly is the cuticle?
It's that very thin layer of essentially dead skin right at the base of your fingernail or toenail, where the skin meets the nail itself.
Okay. I'm looking at my nail now.
Yeah, do that. You can see that little ridge of skin. The manicurist often pushes this back gently or sometimes carefully trims it away.
Right. Because it's anatomical and maybe not a word people use every day, it gets misspelled a lot. We need real clarity on this spelling.
Absolutely. Let's focus. The word is cuticle, C-U-T-I-C-L-E.
C-U-T-I-C-L-E.
The challenge I find is often that C-L-E ending. People might want to put a K in there or maybe forget the L.
C-L-E, cuticle.
Let's really lock it in. C-U-T-I-C-L-E. Note the I after the T and that C-L-E finish. One more time. C-U-T-I-C-L-E. C-U-T-I-C-L-E. Cuticle. Getting that one right definitely shows a higher level of sophistication with English vocabulary.
It really does. Hashtag 3.4 phrases for self-care.
Okay, so the conversation also gave us the casual way people talk about this. Instead of saying, I'm going for a manicure, people often just say,
Spit your nails done.
Right, I'm going to get my nails done. Very common, everyday phrase.
Covers both manicure and pedicure, usually.
And the deeper reason why someone might spend the time and money on this. The woman in the dialogue mentioned she likes to pamper myself.
To pamper. That means treating yourself really well, doesn't it? Indulging yourself, maybe spoiling yourself a bit.
Like going to a spa or getting a massage or getting your nails done.
Exactly. And it connects back to that theme of resolutions, interestingly. Is pampering a valid form of self-care that helps you stick to goals? Or is it an indulgence that maybe conflicts with saving money?
The sources seem to frame it as maybe a necessary bit of luxury in a busy, on-the-go life.
A little reward, perhaps?
And one last bit of jargon from that process. The stuff you use to take the polish off. Nail polish remover.
Right. Usually acetone base.
Yeah.
A strong solvent that dissolves the polish often has quite a powerful smell.
Yeah, it does. But the key part is remover something that takes something away. Clear enough. Okay, let's make our final transition. We're moving into the functional, sometimes high-stakes language you need when traveling and dealing with hotels or other hospitality services. Precision here is absolutely key.
Non-negotiable sometimes, yeah. It often starts the moment you walk up to the front desk, confirming your booking using the phrase, a reservation under the name.
Ah, yes. Hi, I have a reservation under the name Smith.
Exactly that phrase. You say that, give your name, and they check their system. Usually need ID or payment confirmation, too.
So that noun, reservation, it carries real commercial weight. A mistake in spelling that, say, in an email confirmation could cause problems.
Huge problems. Let's make sure we nail the spelling. Reservation.
Reservation. It's long, but fairly logical.
It is. Just watch out for maybe getting the S and V right and that consistent ATION ending. Reservation. Let's spell it again. Reservation.
Reservation. Reservation.
And once that reservation is confirmed, you go through the formal processes that bookend your stay to check in.
Which is when you arrive, show ID, get your room key.
Right. And then at the end of your stay, to check out.
Settling the bill, returning the key, leaving the room.
Those phrasal verbs, check in and check out, are absolutely essential for hotel stays. Hashtag 4.2 problems and solutions.
But as anyone who travels knows, things don't always go smoothly. The dialogue prepared us for potential problems, like encountering a mix-up.
A mix-up. Yeah, that's a great general word for any kind of confusion or error or misunderstanding that leads to a logistical mess.
The anecdotes and the sources were pretty memorable here. Baggage ending up in Antarctica.
Right, or that really alarming one about the wrong baby at the hospital. A mix-up basically means wires got crossed somewhere, an administrative error happened.
Okay, and probably the most common administrative error, especially in hotels and airlines, finding out they are overbooked.
Ah, yes. The dreaded overbooked situation. What does that actually mean?
It means they've sold more rooms or seats than they actually have available.
Exactly. They are literally more than full. They've accepted more reservations than their physical capacity allows.
Why on earth would they do that? Seems like asking for trouble.
Well, it's actually an intentional strategy, often called yield management. It's based on statistics. Airlines and hotels know that, on average, a certain percentage of people with reservations won't actually show up no-shows.
Okay.
So by overbooking slightly, they maximize their chances of being completely full, which maximizes profit. But
if everyone does show up,
then you have conflict. Someone with a valid reservation gets bumped or turned away.
Which requires some very careful diplomatic language from the hotel staff to handle. Not a fun situation for anyone, but there can be a silver lining. If you do encounter an overbooking situation or some other major mix-up that's the hotel's fault, the ultimate redemption for the weary traveler is the aha moment, getting a complimentary upgrade.
The holy grail of travel problems, yes, the complimentary upgrade, often given as an apology for the hassle.
Okay, let's break that phrase down because both words are important. First, complimentary.
Complimentary here means free, provided at no extra charge. Usually because the problem wasn't your fault, it was theirs.
Right. The gesture of goodwill. And the second part? Upgrade.
An upgrade means you get something better than what you originally paid for.
So if you booked a standard hotel room,
you might get bumped up to the huge presidential suite, or on a flight, if you booked an economy ticket.
You might get moved to business or first class. The sources had anecdotes about that, didn't they? 5-course meals, lie flat beds.
Exactly. A massive improvement in the service or product.
Okay, now, complimentary. This is a huge priority spelling word because there's another word that sounds exactly the same but means something totally different.
Absolutely critical distinction. We need the spelling that means free.
Which one is that?
The key is the letter I. Complimentary, meaning free, is spelled C-O-M-P-L-I-M-E-N-T-A-R-Y.
C-O-M-P-L-I-M-E-N-T-A-R-Y. With an I.
Yes, because if you spell it with an E instead, C-O-M-P-L-E-M-E-N-T-A-R-Y, that means fitting together well or completing something, like complementary colors.
Totally different meaning. That's a super common mistake.
It really is. So focus on that I after the L when you mean free gift or free service. C-O-M-P-L-I-M-E-N-T-A-R-Y. Let's spell it one more time, nice and clear.
Okay.
C-O-M-P-L-I-M-E-N-T-A-Y. Got it. The spelling literally dictates the benefit. Get the I right, get the free stuff. Huh? Precisely. And it just shows how, while being overbooked is rough, the right response, offering that complimentary upgrade, can actually turn a bad situation into a really positive memory for the customer. Hashtag outro. So we've really covered some ground today, haven't we? 4 pretty distinct areas, but all connected by this theme of needing precision in our vocabulary.
Yeah, from understanding socioeconomic terms like goods and services and why we're always on the go,
to nailing the specific spelling of holiday architecture like chimney, C-H-I-M-N-E-Y.
and diving deep into that tricky anatomical term, cuticle. Remember, C-U-T-I-C-L-E.
Right. And finally, securing that really valuable distinction in the travel world. The correct spelling of complimentary, meaning free, C-O-M-P-L-I-M-E-N-T-A-R-Y.
And the thread connecting all of it from making that New Year's resolution, R-E-S-O-L-U-T-I-O-N, right at the start, to hoping for that complimentary upgrade at the end, it's the absolute importance of precision, especially in spelling.
It moves you beyond just understanding English when you hear it.
To truly owning the language, using it with confidence, whether you're speaking in a high-stakes situation or, crucially, when you're writing.
That written mastery is key.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now?
Well, we saw that sometimes an annoying situation like being overbooked can unexpectedly lead to a fantastic complimentary upgrade.
The silver lining.
Exactly. So here's a thought to maybe mull over this week. What unexpected positive upgrade might you experience in your own life if you simply resolve, that's R-E-S-O-L-V-E-D, the verb, to really master the precise spelling of these kinds of challenging words, if you truly decided to stick to it? Interesting question. Something for you to explore on your own.